Hi.
I used my bonus to fly my wife's parents in for Christmas. She laughed and said, "They're here for me, not you. You're just the wallet." On Christmas Eve, I heard her whisper to her sister, "He still doesn't know I'm filing right after New Year's." I just smiled. On January 3rd, they woke up to a locked house, empty bank accounts, and her father begging me on the porch, "Please, just answer." I deleted her parents' returned flights the same night. I heard her whisper the divorce timeline to her sister. Not out of rage, just curiosity. I wanted to see what they'd do when the trap sprung. They all woke up on January 3rd to a locked house, disconnected phones, and zero money. Her father was already at my porch before sunrise. I watched him from the upstairs window as he pounded the door with that same hand he used to joke about how men like me end up alone. He wasn't laughing now. This started before Christmas, but the fuse had been burning for years. I'll spare you the long, romanticized version. My wife, Natalie, always loved the holidays. The lights, the baking, the way it made her the center of the universe. I used to think it was sweet. I didn't realize it was a stage for her. This Christmas, I wanted to do something big. We'd had a rough year, her job downsized, I got promoted but had to travel more, and we were in this quiet, simmering Cold War where nothing was technically wrong, but every silence felt like a warning held in the air. So I used my bonus to fly in her parents' business class. Got them a hotel suite nearby, filled the fridge with all the gluten-free nonsense her mom pretends to care about. Natalie had no idea. I thought maybe, just maybe, she'd see the effort and remember what we were. When they walked through the door that night, she squealed like a kid. Hugged her mom, her dad. I was filming the surprise with this dumb grin on my face like a man who thinks the war is over. That's when she turned to me, smiling, and said it. "They're here for me, not you. You're just the wallet." Her mom laughed. Her dad raised an eyebrow but didn't correct her. I laughed too. Quiet. Like someone who just realized the joke's been about him the whole time. From that moment on, I watched. They didn't speak to me unless it was about the dinner menu or thermostat settings. Her father sat in my chair. Her mother reorganized my spice rack. Natalie would openly mock my work schedule, say things like, "Well, while you're off playing boss man, we'll be here making actual memories." She didn't mean it as a joke. On Christmas Eve, I heard her whispering to her sister in the guest room. I wasn't eavesdropping, not at first. But I froze when I heard my name. "I'm filing right after New Year's. He still doesn't know." Her sister laughed, asked if she was worried about me flipping out. Natalie said, "Please. He's a puppy. He'll cry," begged, "then pay whatever I want to make it go away." I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I smiled. That night, while they all slept off their eggnog and self-righteousness, I started phase 1. I locked down our joint accounts. Not illegally, I just moved everything to my personal savings, the one she always laughed about like it was some childish emergency fund. Froze the credit cards. Canceled the flights. Set up motion alerts on the cameras. Phase 2 started the morning of January 2nd. Natalie woke up to an empty fridge. I told her the food delivery service must have messed up the schedule. Her dad offered to drive to the store, couldn't find his car keys. Because I'd moved the car. Her mom tried to call an Uber, phone suspended. Wi-Fi? Offline. I went to work like normal. Smiled when her dad glared at me through the blinds. Phase 3 came fast. On January 3rd, I didn't go to work. I stayed home. Silent. Her father banged on my locked bedroom door. Said they needed to check their bank account, it showed zero. Natalie screamed at me through the wood like she was entitled to a damn explanation. I just sat there, sipping coffee. Eventually, I unlocked the door. Her parents were pale. She was red-eyed and snarling. "What did you do?" she hissed. I handed her a printed spreadsheet. Every dollar. Every withdrawal. Every transfer. She blinked. "You moved it all?" "I did. Legally. Before the filing window you plan to use." Her mouth opened, then shut. Her father tried to step in. "You can't just strand us here like criminals." I looked at him calmly. "You're in my house. You've been living off my money. And as of today, you're my uninvited guests." He called me a few things I won't repeat. I handed him a prepaid debit card. $500. Get a motel. Your flight home's been canceled, but feel free to book another. If your daughter loves you so much, she can pay for it. Natalie's hands were shaking. She said, "You're going to regret this." I said, "You're right. I regret not doing it sooner." Then I left. Drove to my buddy Ryan's place. Cracked a beer. Waited. By noon, she'd called 27 times. By 4, her parents had packed their things and left. On foot. By midnight, she sent me a selfie, mascara streaked, sitting alone in the living room. Caption, "I hope you're proud." I was. Proud that I didn't throw a punch. Proud that I let them sink themselves. Proud that I finally stopped playing the fool. I don't know what happens next. Divorce, sure. Probably some pity play online. Maybe even a few lies. But none of it matters. Because I already won. And all it cost me was believing her smile one last time. Update 1, the day after the detonation. So, turns out when you pull the rug out from under people who've been standing on your spine for years, they don't fall gracefully. Natalie didn't go quietly. Of course not. The morning after her parents left, dragging suitcases down the street like refugees from their own arrogance, she called in backup. Her sister showed up first, banged on the door like she had a badge. I didn't answer. Then came the texts. Long ones. Accusations dressed up as concern. This isn't you. You're better than this. You're scaring people. Scaring people. The same people who laughed when Natalie called me the wallet. Who toasted to her glow up at my expense. Who nodded along when she said I'd never grow a pair. I wasn't scared, but I could smell their fear through the walls. That afternoon I logged into our neighborhood group chat. You know the kind, middle-aged women policing dog poop and HOA violations. Natalie had already gotten ahead of me. Posted a long, weepy paragraph about being financially trapped by an emotionally unstable spouse. Said her parents were refused transportation and held against their will. Claimed she was terrified to be alone in the house. Attached a photo of herself crying. Same one she'd sent me the night before. Must have figured she'd get more mileage out of it. The replies? Pure suburban theater. OMG, stay safe, girl. Men can be so controlling. File for an emergency order if you have to. Not one person asked for proof. But here's the thing. I knew she'd go public. I'd counted on it. So I posted a reply. No rage. No denial. Just 3 things. A screenshot of the transcript, her whispering to her sister about the divorce plan. A PDF of the bank account movements with timestamps. A single sentence, sometimes a mirror is all it takes. Then I logged off. Let the fire catch. By the next morning, the post was deleted. Not by me. Natalie hadn't expected receipts. She expected tantrums. Screaming matches. Something she could weaponize. Instead, I gave her silence and timestamps. And silence? Hits harder than fists. She started calling people. Friends. Family. Spinning new versions. But every person she reached out to already had my side. Because I'd been busy. Sent a quiet email to every mutual friend, every family member on both sides. No theatrics. Just facts. Proof. Dates. Quotes. A folder labeled in case you were wondering. No commentary. No call to action. Just evidence. A few responded. Most didn't. But the damage was done. Her sister deleted her own comment from the group thread. Her father blocked me. Her mom tried to call 3 times, then gave up. But the best part? Her job found out. Apparently, someone, not me, sent her employer the screenshots of her mocking emotionally fragile men and bragging about her plan to tear me apart in court. The email was anonymous. But I have my suspicions. Her company has a very public code of ethics. She's on administrative leave now. Pending investigation. I haven't spoken to her since the night I handed her the debit card. She's still in the house. For now. The eviction notice goes up next week. I didn't want to rush it. I wanted her to feel every inch of the air she poisoned. Tonight, I'm sleeping at my friend's cabin. No cell service. No Wi-Fi. Just firewood, cheap whiskey, and the sound of ice breaking on the lake. And you know what? It's the best I've felt in years. Because when you stop being the wallet, when you stop being useful, you finally see who was ever real. Turns out, I lived with ghosts. Next update coming soon. She still thinks she can recover from this. Still thinks there's a redemption arc waiting in the wings. She has no idea how deep the hole goes. And I've only just started digging. Update 2, the soft collapse is over, now comes the hard one. She moved into the guest room. I didn't tell her to. She just did it. Quietly. Like maybe that would make her seem like the mature one. Like maybe if she gave me space, I'd forget what I heard. I started sleeping too well for her to ignore. No more tension in the jaw. No more pre-dawn alarms. No more pacing the hallway while I waited for her texts to stop buzzing at 2 a.m. She hated it. You could feel it. Every morning she'd come out, hair perfect, face full of forced gratitude. Thanks again for letting me stay here while I figure things out. Translation, please don't pull the trigger just yet. But I'd already pulled it. The next domino wasn't even mine. It was her friend, Lena. You might remember Lena. Maid of honor. Instagram influencer light. She once said in front of me that guys who split bills aren't ready for a real woman. She DM'd me last night. Hey, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I stared at it for a full minute. Then typed. Didn't know what? She replied with a screenshot. Natalie had been messaging everyone. Pleading. Spinning. Fracturing. Claiming I was emotionally abusive, spiteful, controlling, and possibly suicidal. She'd sent a selfie of the eviction notice I posted, claimed I did it just to punish her. Lena didn't bite. Instead, she looked into it. Saw the group thread. Saw the spreadsheet. Saw the comm. Whatever she's going through, Lena wrote, you didn't deserve this. I think she's unraveling. Yeah, she is. Because I started poking holes in her parachute. Remember the neighbor group? The one she lied to? Well, one of the members, a local mom named Tara, reached out. Said Natalie had been trying to organize a community safety review to get me labeled a domestic threat. Except Tara's sister is a lawyer. And Tara has screenshots. Texts from Natalie suggesting she'd feel safer if the community pressured him to leave the home voluntarily. Problem is, she never filed anything official. Because she can't. Because she'd lose. Tara asked what I wanted to do. I said nothing. Just watch. Natalie doesn't know yet. She's still pacing the living room like a widow waiting for the will. But here's what really broke her. Her dad called. Not me. Her. I overheard it through the door. He's furious. Not about the money. Not even about the flights. He's furious that people know. His old golf buddy texted him, "Your daughter really called her husband just the wallet in front of the whole neighborhood?" He didn't even ask if it was true. He knows it is. Natalie cried. Begged. I heard her say, "You don't understand what he's doing to me." And then the line that made me laugh into my pillow. He's not even yelling. He's just waiting. Like a trap. Correct. He's waiting. For the final phase. She tried one more Hail Mary yesterday. Left a note on my door, yes, my own bedroom door, begging for mediation. She offered me the house. Said I could keep everything if I just let her leave with dignity. Dignity? You mean the thing you pawned for compliments from your sister? The thing you traded for Instagram likes and whispered betrayal? I wrote 2 words back. Too late. Today I spoke to a friend of mine who works in PR. We're releasing a statement tomorrow. Nothing loud. Nothing bitter. Just a compost on my LinkedIn. After a period of emotional reflection and discovery, I've decided to transition out of my marriage. I'm grateful for the clarity pain brings. Sometimes losing what you thought you loved shows you what you actually needed. Already drafted. Already scheduled. Let her explain that. Let her try. Because now, there's nothing to grab onto. No rope. No ladder. Just the sound of the floorboards she sawed through giving out beneath her. I won't post again until the final blow. And yes, there's one more coming. You'll know it when you see it. Because this time, she'll be the one whispering. Only no one will be listening. Update 3, the funeral without a body. She tried to move out yesterday. Packed 2 suitcases. Left her ring on the counter like it meant something. I watched from the upstairs hallway as she tried to open the front door. Didn't work. I changed the locks. She turned slowly like she couldn't believe it. You said I could leave. I smiled. I said you could. I didn't say you'd want to. She laughed. That desperate, thin laugh people make when the script goes sideways. What the hell does that mean? It meant the final act was ready. I stepped aside and handed her an envelope. Inside? A printed list. Not threats. Not revenge porn. Just reminders. The video clip of her calling me a placeholder. I'd clipped it from our security footage. A transcript of her sister saying she'd drain me financially in court. A notarized letter from our financial planner confirming I'd paid 93% of our joint expenses the past 2 years. And the best part? A copy of the cease and desist order I just filed against her for defamation based on her Facebook claims about abuse and theft. She dropped the envelope like it burned. You're insane. No, I said. I just stopped pretending. Then came the final straw. I know about Derek. She froze. Derek wasn't her boss. Derek was her ex. The one she claimed had moved overseas. The one she insisted she hadn't spoken to in years. The one she started texting again when I was working nights during Q4. Guess what? He never left. Just changed jobs. I have the screenshots. One of her friends, let's call her Erica, sent them after seeing my LinkedIn post. Apparently Natalie had been bragging in private chats that she was lining up her exit strategy. Erica had doubts. Quiet ones. But seeing the way Natalie smeared me publicly made her snap. She sent me the entire thread. Every lie. Every timeline. Even a photo of Natalie at Derek's apartment from 2 months ago. Wearing my hoodie. I didn't confront her. I just included the printout in the envelope. So when I said I know about Derek and she didn't even blink, that was the real reveal. Because guilt flinches. But exposure? It freezes. She sat down on the stairs. Quiet. Face slack. I said nothing. Just stood there. Eventually she said, so what now? You want to destroy my reputation. I looked at her for a long time. Then I said, no. I want you to remember. She blinked. Remember what? I walked down the stairs. Opened the door. Let the cold wind rush in. This. Right now. This silence. This house. This life. You don't get to rewrite it. You don't get to tell your friends you left a toxic marriage. You don't get the sympathy arc. She opened her mouth. I raised a hand. No. Listen. You're going to walk out that door, and for the rest of your life, you're going to know that the man you called weak outmaneuvered you in every direction. That while you were busy trying to level up through betrayal, I was building the rope you just hung your legacy with. She was crying now. Not sobbing. Just tears leaking down her face like a faucet left running. I gave you everything, she whispered. No, I said. You took everything. And then got bored. That's worse. She stood. I have nothing. I nodded. I know. She walked out without another word. I didn't follow. Didn't watch her go. Just closed the door and locked it. Sat in my chair. The one her father used to hijack. Opened a beer. Texted Ryan. It's done. That night, I made a quiet post on my private Instagram. No names. No drama. Just a photo of the living room, peaceful, empty. Caption, some ghosts don't need exorcising. Just doors they can't come back through. People knew. They always do. Today? She posted nothing. Her Facebook's gone. Her Instagram locked. Her LinkedIn quietly updated, seeking new opportunities. I won't update again. There's nothing left. No scorched earth. Just cold foundations. And I'll rebuild from here. Alone. Which is still better than being used. Thanks for reading. And remember, sometimes revenge isn't about what you destroy. It's about what you refuse to save. Final update, the day the silence stuck. 3 weeks. That's how long it's been since she left with her suitcase and her broken face. She hasn't contacted me. Not directly. Not unless you count the burner Instagram she made to follow me. Which I blocked. Or the email from sincerely_movingin87 that just said, I miss who we were. Which I deleted. The silence though? It's beautiful. But here's the part no one tells you. After the storm, there's still cleanup. People came out of the woodwork. Some to apologize. Some to pick sides. Some just to watch. Her old best friend, Kara, messaged me 2 days ago. Said Natalie's been couch surfing. Derek ghosted her. Her parents won't take her in. Said something about too much heat. She's back at square one. No job. No man. No story that sticks. Because everyone has the receipts now. I didn't leak them. I didn't have to. Screenshots float. Stories travel. And you can only play victim so many times before people start comparing notes. Apparently she's telling a new version now. That she loved me too much and got scared of how dependent she'd become. Sure. That's why you plotted a surgical extraction behind my back and treated me like emotional support with a credit card. Whatever helps her sleep. If she's sleeping. Me? I'm not just sleeping. I'm living. I started rebuilding the house. Literally. Ripped out the fake decorations she bought to impress her friends. Tore down the ridiculous floral wallpaper her mother insisted made the dining room pop. Painted everything slate gray and midnight blue. It's my house now. It always was. But now it feels like it. I donated her leftover clothes to a shelter. They didn't even ask questions. Just said thank you and offered me a tax receipt. I framed it. Put it where the wedding photo used to hang. Tax-deductible betrayal. Zing. The thing is, I don't hate her. I thought I would. I thought revenge would feel like fire in the bloodstream. Like dominance. Like victory. But it's not that. It's peace. It's walking into a room and not wondering what lie is hanging in the air. It's silence without suspicion. It's not having to rehearse answers for questions she was never brave enough to ask. She burned herself. I just stopped handing her matches. This morning, I got coffee with Lena, the one who reached out when it all started falling apart. She looked at me across the table and said, you know what the worst part is? We believed her. All of us. I said nothing. Just sipped my coffee. Because I already knew. People believe what flatters their fears. And Natalie? She was very, very flattering. But not anymore. Now she's a cautionary tale. A name said in hushed tones at brunches and therapy sessions. A ghost who forgot that lies only last as long as people are willing to carry them. Final piece of the story? She tried to get back into the house. Not to talk. Not to apologize. To retrieve something. Her old laptop. Except I'd already factory reset it. Sold it for parts. Put the money toward a down payment on a used motorcycle. Yeah. I'm learning to ride. Took a safety course. Signed up under my full name. Because I'm not hiding anymore. Not from her. Not from anyone. So this is the last you'll hear from me. Not because there's nothing left to say. But because the chapter's closed and I'm already living the sequel. And her? She'll spend the rest of her life rewriting the prologue. Trying to make herself the heroine. But there are too many of us who know the real plot. Too many mirrors she can't outrun. And me? I'm just the guy who finally put one in front of her. Thanks for reading. Now go live something she can't touch.